From the Grand Canyon to the White Mountains and Sonoran Desert, a team that brings you news from across our state. With Kent Dana, Janine Ford, Bill Austin Weather, and Bill Denny Sports.
Arizona's news station. Left, make it go left. Straight up like that, okay? Hold them out, 2 hands.
Ryan Burnett traveled more than 200 miles to watch an all-star. No, not Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Ryan's son plays for the Alchese Falcon. They're the home team.
Number 30.
His son's coach happens to be a basketball legend. Tinker Burnett and his teammates are learning the tricks of the trade from one of the best.
Keep your hands off him. That's all you got to do. Keep your body on his right side. Make him use his left hand.
His mere presence commands attention. To the parents of these players, he's a giant of a man, but not because of his size.
Sure, you can be rich and famous and have everything you have in the world, but to give of that little bit of self, I think means a lot, being charitable. I really think it says a lot about him and his heart.
None of these guys can handle the ball with their left hand.
His heart wants them to win, but not just on the court.
And my goal is to get these guys to think about going to college. Whether or not they go and play basketball, if they can think about that and, you know, something that they can accomplish in college, then I've done a great job.
In Ryan Burnett's opinion, he's already done a great job.
You're doing all right. I think it's pretty good.
Knights on 3. 1, 2, 3. Knights!
Mary Kim Titla, 12 News. It's a tour most people would gladly skip, but not Iron Mike. At Tent City, he shook hands, signed autographs, and he even gave a pep talk.
Now I'm here to talk to your brothers, and I'm just looking forward to this. You know what I mean? And really, it's an honor for me to be here too, because I've been in this situation before on a few occasions, right?
If he was running for president, he'd probably have their votes.
You're not running for president, are you?
They're not sparring partners, but the teaming of Sheriff Joe and Iron Mike is no accident. They did this once before at the juvenile Tent City.
I'm happy that Mike came.
It was a PR move that was milked for all it's worth.
We have a new program, Inmate of the Month.
The move didn't go without some criticism.
Now, I'll take a little heat. Why did you bring Mike Tyson in and so on? They'll listen to him before they ever listen to me.
Is he a role model or isn't he? We asked the inmates. You may be surprised by what they had to say.
He's a good role model. I think it'll give inspiration for a lot of people to stay out of here also.
It's a tour Tyson will definitely make again. Mary Kim Titla, 12 News.
Thank you.
You reap what you sow. The Cardinals sowed, and this is the fruits of their labor. These playoff shirts are hot off the presses. No time to even put them on the shelves. Even little Keller showed up to pick up a sticker.
A bird.
A bird. What kind of bird is it?
A football team bird.
106. That's okay. That's
Yesterday's win inspired Don Miller. He bought season tickets.
Well, we're just moving here from California. Yeah, so we went to the game yesterday and we had a good time. And
these folks hoped some of their favorite players would show up. Some did.
Great game yesterday.
Yeah, it was wonderful.
Beat the Cowboys.
Fans can't wait for Saturday's game.
You know, we're season ticket holders for the last 9 years, and we're supporting them, and we're going to stay behind them. In fact, we put our names in. We're going to try to go to Dallas.
These playoff shirts are easy to get. Tickets to Saturday's game are another thing. If you manage to get your hands on some tickets, here's what you can expect to pay to fly to Dallas.
On America West, you can get in and out of Dallas for $1,152. On Southwest, it's only $459, but you have to stop in El Paso. Lower fares are available through American and America West, but plan on a long weekend. Leave December 31st and return January 4th. If you can't make the trip, but you'd still like a shirt, that'll only cost you about $16. Mary Kim Titla, 12 News. If you build it, they will come. They built for Lori Smith, and she came.
We plan on living here for at least the next 6 years.
Lori moved into this brand new subdivision a month ago. She's one of the lucky ones. Her daughter goes to school around the corner at Frontier Elementary. But Lori's neighbors may have to send their children elsewhere. That's because Frontier is cutting off its enrollment on November 25th. The school is over capacity by nearly 400 students.
After that, we're referring all new enrollments per district board request to the district office. Then they will look at each school to determine capacity and see where our children will go.
So even if your house is just across the street, you may have to drive your child miles away to go to school. To make matters worse, the Peoria School District must wait 2 to 3 years to get money for new schools. But even if you don't build it, they're going to come.
There are currently 6,000 homes or buildings in progress over the next 9 to 15 months.
What makes Lori mad is the person who sold her her home never mentioned the school may be overcrowded.
We weren't told anything about, by a deadline or anything.
Can I have some sugar? Oh, yeah.
Lisa Fulkerson thought she would never have children. Now she has 4.
This is Mila, and this is Forrest, and this is Laurel.
The triplets are 2 years old. Elise is almost 1. They were all born with the help of fertility treatments.
They take the eggs out, and they go over to a specialist who looks at all of the eggs and picks 5 or 6 of the best quality eggs, and then they have the sperm there.
And it's not cheap. All the procedures cost Lisa and her husband nearly $15,000. But not only did they have to deal with that cost, they had to deal with all the ethical and moral questions that come with using fertility drugs.
We prayed about it, we talked about it, and we feel that it is a wonderful thing that we do have modern technology and that God made those people as well, and that I was able to get pregnant. I just had a problem getting there.
But is society abusing reproductive technology? Some doctors say yes.
The incidence of multiples is very, very high in Phoenix. I have a colleague who has personally taken care of approximately 30 sets of quadruplets and over 130 sets of triplets.
Hi! And experts say parents who need help getting pregnant must be careful when choosing a specialist.
Many of them are not completely trained. They're not monitoring patients carefully. To have septuplets or octuplets is a mistake that could have been prevented.
Give me a kiss.
Every time Lisa Fulkerson looks at her children, she sees a miracle. She says using reproductive methods is a very personal decision, but for others, it's becoming a very public debate. Mary Kim Titla, 12 News. This is Rachel Brownfield's first Christmas. She won't remember any of it, but someday her parents will tell her why they'll never forget it.
Tearfully, I found out I had all these masses.
Robin Brownfield nearly died this year. Doctors found 8 tumors in his brain. They showed him the x-ray.
When I looked at it, I just didn't think maybe I was going to survive. And I was sad, thinking, I may never have a child.
Robin and Kay were trying to have a baby, but Robin needed chemotherapy, so doctors told them to stop.
I would cry every day, coming home from work, every night before I went to bed.
They prayed for a miracle and got one. Kay was pregnant, but Robin got worse.
By April of this year, I had really regressed and was falling down at times and not able to get up, very unstable, having double vision at times. And I knew that I was in really bad shape, and I wasn't sure I was going to make it.
So Robin went in to see another specialist.
I started dying right in his office while I was talking to him. I started throwing up, I passed out, and he had to operate right then. There was no waiting.
The day of the operation, Kay went into labor. 2 miracles happened that day. Robin survived, and little Rachel was born.
There are presents under the tree at the Brownfield home, but as far as Kay and Robin are concerned, their best Christmas gifts came early. Their faith in God helped them get through it.
Because of him, we have eternal life. And because of him, we are here today, as we believe he was just in control of everything that happened to us.
Robin's prognosis is good.
Yeah, we had that.
Rachel couldn't be happier. Mary Kim Titla, 12 News.
Was taking a picture.
I went to get into my truck, and as I put the key, I felt something against my knuckle. It felt really rough. I thought, oh boy, what's this? And I looked, it was dark, and sure enough, someone had torn apart my handle.
Both doors had been pried open. These pictures show the damage to the right door.
The thieves have figured out that they can force some type of a big instrument, be it a screwdriver or crowbar, into the seam between the handle and the door right here. Once they get an opening in there, they can force the instrument on in and then force the lock open.
Steve didn't just get mad, he got even. He invented something that helps stop thieves from helping themselves.
This is 072 cold rolled steel. It's zinc plated to prevent rust and corrosion.
Steve took a car door from a junkyard and used it to design what he calls the Jimmy Jammer. This thick metal plate blocks the door's lock.
We've designed this plate to actually sit in there like that. Uses the standard mounting bolt there. And now, as you can see, it's behind this steel, which is thicker than the steel of the door.
Steve is now working on a patent and is ready to sell his product to car dealers. You might say his invention shuts the door on thieves. Mary Kim Titla, 12 News. It's raining, it's pouring, but no one at the U.S. Forest Service is snoring. They can't.
This is as bad as we've seen in over 100 years.
He's talking about drought conditions. These drops of water provide badly needed moisture for our beautiful desert, but it's just not enough to protect it.
Yeah, it needs to be continuous for about 3 weeks, and the best thing is to have snow.
Snow is actually better than rain because the snow provides more moisture for a longer period of time. But one thing remains certain, no moisture of any kind means more fires. That's why firefighters are getting ready early.
And we're going to start staffing our engines March 14th, and usually we don't start staffing our engines until about April 15th, so we're a month ahead of schedule. We'll bring our hotshot crews on earlier, we'll get our aircraft and helicopters ready to go.
There have already been 21 fires this year in the Tonto National Forest. This time last year, there were 0. This area burned when someone threw a cigarette butt out the window of a passing car.
And we are encouraging folks to still come out on the National Forest. It is their National Forest. We want them to come out and enjoy the National Forest, but this year they're going to have to be extremely careful with fire, cigarettes, and just be careful out in the woods.
Careful not to destroy what we're able to enjoy now. In the Tonto National Forest, Mary Kim Titla, 12 News. It's lunchtime at Red Mountain High School. If you get in their way, expect a honk. These teenage girls say it's the guys trying to show off.
They, they have to have their card. Yeah, they have to be all big and bad in their cars and drive really fast and everything.
The guys admit they sometimes speed.
Guys are like, go for it, let's get the danger in and stuff.
Let's get what?
Danger in, let's go for it.
The danger is this. The students who were in this car all went to the hospital. Now Mesa high schools may close their campuses for good. Tomorrow, the governing board will discuss whether there's enough space to feed all their students. They also want to look at how many students are late to class or skip class altogether after lunch. And then there are security issues.
How do you feel about 16-year-olds driving?
I feel
that it's all right. I mean, some of them can, but most of them can't.
These students have their own solution.
So sophomores should stay on campus?
Yeah.
And you're a sophomore?
I don't think sophomores know how to drive.
But this mom says all students should stay on campus.
For safety reasons, for their own safety. They're all rushing to get out, making stupid mistakes driving, not watching what they're doing, 10 kids in a car. Yeah, it's dangerous.
It's not really fair to all of us. It's too much of a stereotype.
Mary Kim Titla, 12 News.
Atta boy, nice hit.
It's hard to believe by looking at little Jake Baker that he nearly died a few months ago.
Atta boy.
In December, Jake's parents lost sight of him for a few moments. He had made his way to the family pool. The self-closing gate didn't latch like it should have.
When I saw Jake from the living room, he was basically at the edge, but in the water, in the center, on the opposite side, which you can see is a real narrow area.
Susie jumped into the cold water.
I took him out over here, just where I could stand, and laid him on the side of the pool.
Jake's body was limp.
He was blue. He obviously wasn't breathing, and I didn't feel a pulse. So
Susie, a nurse, started CPR right away.
I stayed in the water right here, and he was just at my level. So we did everything here.
Paramedics flew Jake to Desert Samaritan Hospital. A doctor gave the devastated parents a grim prognosis.
He just told us that Jake probably would not survive, and if he did, he would have permanent brain damage.
Jake was comatose for a few hours.
We did a lot of praying.
Suddenly, a miracle happened. Jake moved his body and opened his eyes.
Within the 6-8 hours, he was awake and on the road to recovery.
Jake's parents now want to share a message.
Anytime the little boy or your children are near a pool, even if it's in a secured area, always use direct eye supervision.
Jake and other children's lives depend on it. In Mesa, Mary Kim Titla, 12 News.
It's a wavy wall, and then when you're close up, you can see that it's cracking.
The orange tape with the arrows point to telltale signs that there may be problems in this house.
The windows, we had to put an extra lock on the window because it's bowing enough where it won't latch.
Kathy and Kurt Smith moved into this home 3 years ago. They noticed the cracks last year. Their neighbors had similar problems. Del Webb bought most of those homes, but the company won't commit to buying the Smiths. Del Webb is now doing some work to make sure the foundations of the homes they bought are stable. But the noise and dust are becoming unbearable for the Smiths. They're hoping Del Webb will have a change of mind about their home.
The Smiths hope to hear from Del Webb in a few days, but the company's troubles are far from over, and they've already spent millions of dollars trying to fix those problems.
We're doing a number of things in the neighborhood. Number one is we are offering a full lifetime warranty to all residents there on the foundation of their homes. That is a lifetime warranty, which is pretty much unheard of in this industry.
Del Webb claims it wants to restore this community to what it once was, full of happy families. Right now, Kathy and Kurt don't seem to fit into that plan. In Ahwatukee, Mary Kim Titla, 12 News. 2 young girls hurt in this car accident made it to the hospital safely and received good care. But with more medical helicopters competing for business, will that change in the future?
We'll absorb these changes into our system, and the public shouldn't notice any difference in the Metro Phoenix area.
But paramedics wonder how rural areas will be affected. And folks at AirEvac say more helicopters mean less quality service. In this statement, they say Arizona is oversaturated with medical choppers, and the loser in the long run is the patient. How do we compare to other states? Arizona has 40 medical helicopters and planes. In Texas, where the population is 4 times as large, there are about 45. But medical transport companies say the public shouldn't worry.
This is a business, and we believe that we are providing what our customers need, and those things are high-quality patient care and safety.
How long have you been waiting in line?
About 20 minutes now.
Otila Hernandez had no idea the lines would be this long.
I expected everybody to be eating turkey.
That's why most stores are closed today, because most people are eating turkey. But businesses like Kmart know if you offer great deals on a day when there's no competition, it means more money in their registers. Your money.
Yeah, and they're getting it.
But are the deals worth the wait? Did you expect to be waiting in long lines? No. And this guy got a good deal, but he got a bad deal when he tried to put it on layaway.
2 hours.
And that's just waiting or what?
Just waiting.
Otila says great deals or not, she learned a lesson. Will you do this again next Thanksgiving?
Probably not.
Something strange is going on, and it all stems back to the Loop.
The Loop is a telephone service for teens. Susan Koonsman is sure her daughter ran away with someone she met on a chat line.
Somebody with the car had to come and get her, to start with.
She called the number and asked us to listen in. 2 girls are on the line.
Who are you?
12 News.
Oh, wait a minute.
12 News.
Okay.
Who are you?
I'm Channel 5.
Can you tell me how old you are?
I then asked if older men have called them on this line. What one girl says next may shock you.
I was talking to a guy yesterday who was 48. I went to his house and he was talking about if he can orally please me and all this other shit.
You went to his house?
Yeah.
He asked you to come there?
Just a bunch of stuff. They do that a lot.
Susan Kunzman is convinced her daughter is with someone in the valley.
We just want you home. We miss you.
This is what the weather has been like all day long between Globe and Superior. The highway is now open, but it was a much different story earlier today. This caused police to start doing this.
Well, it's going to be a few hours. A lot of snow and ice.
The cold weather took its toll on Bill Hamilton's old Ford pickup truck. How long have you been here, stranded?
Oh, probably an hour, a little over an hour, I guess now.
While we were waiting, a welcome sight.
Hello, Bill. Hi, Danny. How you doing? Good.
Dan says he's been doing this since midnight.
People in this area just don't have chains. A lot of people don't know how to drive in the snow, including me sometimes.
Down the road in Globe, only a couple of inches fell, but schools shut down because the town doesn't have enough snow plows to clear the road. The weather made people feel like they were at the top of the world, but despite the heavy snowfall, everyone seemed to enjoy this winter wonderland. The white stuff made for a picture-perfect day, even for Bill.
It's nice. Yeah, I think it's all right.
Especially when you're no longer stuck in the snow. Near Superior, Mary Kim Titla, 12 News.
No, I don't think he's going to get booed off the court.
Why's that?
Probably because he came right out front and admitted it and confronted it. And then I think there was a road trip, so it's given people time to absorb it.
This is not how fans want to remember Jason Kidd. They hope people will remember all the good things he's done for this community.
Well, I'm hoping everybody will receive him as a citizen and a really great ball player, because he has set some examples for some of the kids in this area, and that's a plus.
Some fans say what happens in Kidd's personal life should have no bearing on what he does on the court.
I mean, people shouldn't condemn him for something that happened at home, and it's none of our business. That should just be left there.
Still, others wonder just how forgiving tonight's fans will really be.
Actually, I might just watch just to see that aspect of it. I don't usually watch the Suns play, but I might tune in.
Are you in the mood to give money? Lauren Mallory hopes so. She and members of the band at Royal Palm Middle School often have to raise money for uniforms and field trips.
We fundraise with companies, and we sell chocolates and candy and food a lot. We usually have to pay out of pocket a lot, so for things, and I know that it's hard for some people to pay for certain things that we need.
Now you can help them drum up money.
If they owe state taxes, and it's only if you owe taxes that this works, then they can write out a check to the particular school, but it has to be for extracurricular programs.
What's nice about this tax credit program is you can pick the activity you want to support, including sports. It's a steal of a deal. Pay up to $200 for basketball and other school programs and cut your state tax bill dollar for dollar. Your contribution might even help a student selected to go to Disneyland this year.
We do have some kids that from year to year are not able to go on that trip because they just can't come up with the cash.
I think it's a great idea, and it'll help people to be able to participate more, and they'll get to go to all the field trips and be able to do everything.
The tax credit program is music to their ears. Mary Kim Titla, 12 News.